Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, I'm answering all of y'all's questions. We went live on Tuesday for the NFL trade deadline. The Raiders did not make any deals, but the nation has a lot of questions. So all the questions you're about to see were recorded on Tuesday, and the first one coming in here is from Jeremy Johnson. I hope we trade Carr. Oh, he embarrasses us in the Super Bowl and LV. All the haters are sad. I'll say this. You're not going to trade Derek. He's got a no-trade clause. Though, Jeremy and I had a discussion earlier. I think the team that he would actually be the most welcoming a trade to, I'll say Houston. Chug said Washington. Indianapolis was thrown out there. But he's got a no-trade clause, so it's probably not going to happen. Let's go to Wyo. What up, man? Rappaport just reported a last-minute trade. Psych. I'll tell you what. I saw that. My heart stopped a little bit. The issue is I got Rappaport on speed dial. Let's go to Paul. Raiders need to fire McDaniels, get 3 more really good defensive players, new defensive coach. Yes, Carr had a bad game, but he has followed coach's game plan. Not his fault. It is his fault. When you're paid the amount of money that Derek Carr is paid, when you're a quarterback in the NFL, it is your fault. The issue is it's not only Derek Carr's fault. McDaniels deserves a lot of blame for the terrible game plan that they constructed to go up against New Orleans. However, yes, you do need to make a lot of defensive acquisitions. I'm talking defensive tackle. You need another cornerback. You need, and personally, in my opinion, another edge rusher. Those would be the first 3 needs that I would address if I'm the Raiders in free agency, which is the only way that you can go right now. Let's go to Sean. What up? Carr deserves to get traded to the Patriots so he can show Raider fans he isn't the problem by spanking our awful defense that can get to the quarter, can't cover. I will say, if he wants to go to New England, he can. I'll take Mac Jones for Derek Carr. I don't think Derek Carr and Mac Jones are that much different of quarterbacks, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all. But DC in New England, what's he going to do there? Their offensive line isn't great. They have worse receivers than the Raiders do. My problem sometimes with Raider fans is like they defend Derek Carr so much, which blows my mind. Like if you watch the games, I just don't understand how after seeing that Saints game that you can have DC's back. I mean, DC was about as bad as it gets. He was missing open guys. He was making bad reads, and sure, some of it needs to go on McDaniels too. No doubt about it. McDaniels deserves the most blame for that loss, but watch the tape. When you watch Derek, he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's not. And anybody that thinks that, I'm sorry, their ability to watch football tape is not good. Sorry, it's the truth. Now, if you love the Raiders here, I want you guys to turn on those notifications. I want you to hit that subscribe button. That way, if any Raiders news does happen, we can keep you up to date. And I am making this video live. A defensive tackle that I've actually had in a video before just got released by the Dallas Cowboys. His name is Tristan Hill. 2nd-round pick in 2019. If the Raiders were to sign him, guess what? We'd go live. We'd make a video about it. Now, people who I know have their notifications turned on. David Blues. Yikes. Miguel, Phil, Alex, and Alex again. Shout out to all of y'all for turning on your notice. If you want to shout out on a future show, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Let's go to Max Payne. What up, Max? Who you think is a better replacement for Carr? I'm going to do a Derek Carr replacement video for you watching this live. If you're not watching this live, go check out my Derek Carr replacements video. Voodoo Gunner. If you're come to Scotland, I can show you around, but you better pull on your drinking pants because you will be stepping into the big league of drinking. Well, I will say, they're not the sponsor technically for this exact show, but you know what? I don't care. If y'all want to get your plot of land to become a lord, go to establishedtitles.com/chat. I think we just do it, Jeremy. I say F it. We make them the sponsor here. We let this puppy ride. So, Voodoo. I would love to be able to come to Scotland. And for those of you that are just watching the show right now, maybe you don't 100% understand what I'm talking about. My name now is officially Lord Mitchell Renz. I'm not making it up. I got a plaque right here. Lord Mitchell Renz. And your name could be Lord Voodoo Gunner. So because of our new sponsor, you got to listen to this deal that we got going on right now. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global restoration efforts. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. So you could officially include the title as Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane ticket, dating profiles. It honestly makes as a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link, which you guys can see down there below at establishedtitles.com/chat. You can be right next to me within walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or Lady, we can build our own little Raider Nation. Now, I have about 200 plots of land that we have sectioned off here for Raider Nation. So essentially the first 200 people that do it, you're going to be right next to me in Scotland. I told Chugs I would love to be able to figure out a trip where we can all go to Scotland at one time, just meet up, have a drink on the land that we got. But this is a real thing. Because of, like, old rules, have you ever, like, looked up, like, old rules, like, in your own state, like it's illegal to sweep dirt underneath the rug in Pennsylvania? I'll never forget that. If you buy land in Scotland at Edelston, you then can become a lord or a lady. It's kind of a wild thing. I'm trying to get Chuck one. Lord Chuck. Sounds pretty good. EstablishedTitles.com/chat. Let's go to the greatness of the Raiders. I was hoping Josh McDaniels would be traded to the Colts. The Raiders would get a 2023. You know, I'll say this. I couldn't believe that the Colts fired their OC today. To me, this was Frank Reich just looking for a scapegoat. The OC for the Indianapolis Colts doesn't even call plays, and he got fired today. That'd be like McDaniels firing the OC for the Raiders' offensive problems. That's how bad that is. Let's go to Eric. Carr has been a scary since he got sacked in the Indy game by Trent Cole in 2016. The quarterback that used to play in 2015 and 2016 before the injury, he's gone. He is. He's gone. Do you want Derek Carr on the Raiders next year? Type 4 for yes, or I want you to type 2 for no. Let me know down in the comment section. This next one's coming in from Michael. The Raiders need to focus on what they do best. You are what you are. Bang! Michael from the top rope. Michael is ready to party, and I said that if you're watching this live, I would drink a lukewarm beer. A hot beer. No, a microwave beer. So if you're watching this live, stay tuned. Let's go to David Zahn. I've drank with Mitch. He can drink. I can drink. I mean, I know a lot of people are always like, oh, that Fireball. My favorite is that Fireball is apple juice, or you guys are drinking, like these aren't real Trulies. I don't like saying that I can drink a lot, but I can. My stomach, the ability that it has to expand, if you haven't noticed, I beat defensive tackle, now plays for the Cowboys, Jonathan Hankins, in an eating competition. I can hold it. I can hold it down. I get drunk. I get really drunk, but I can drink a lot. Let's go to Rudy. What up, bro? McDaniels is soft. He's making us look really bad. Bring back Rich. You know, I don't think Rich is going to be the answer. I think there were other head coaching candidates out there that I would have rather brought in. However, man, McDaniels is soft, and that plays into the reason why I think what you saw this past Sunday against the Saints. When your quarterback's soft, when your head football coach is soft, you got a soft team. A lot of softness. Let's go to Paul. I love my Raiders, but damn, we need to turn things around, Paul. I 100% agree, and if you agree with Paul, spam Real One for Life down in the comments. MFN Flores 760, what up, bro? What do you think about Davis saying we're committed to McDaniels for years? I'm not surprised by it. I've said multiple times on the show that the Raiders are going to give McDaniels 3 years because of the contracts that you've seen. Devontae Adams is the perfect example of that contract. He gets 3 years at $67.5, and then he can make $80 million in the last 2 years, $40 million per. But there's cutoffs and Hunter Renfro's contract. Look at Hunter Renfro's contract, 2-year extension. Darren Waller's contract, technically no guarantees after that 3-year window. Derek Carr doesn't have any guarantees in it whatsoever. Max Crosby, they gave him his money. But when you look at a lot of these high-profile players and their contracts, 3-year window. Josh McDaniels is going to be the Raiders head coach for the next 3 years, unless they literally go like 0-17. I think that's the only way. Let's go to Steven. Facts. Carr doesn't even run anymore since 2016. Because he can't. He's not a running quarterback. There's at times where I want him to pick up first downs with his legs, but it's his ability or inability to maneuver in the pocket. Carr can only go north and south in the pocket. In today's NFL, if you don't have a quarterback that can roll to his right, roll to his left, escape pressure, you're going to be in trouble. You know why? The NFL puts so much emphasis on edge rushers being able to get after the quarterback. And Derek has terrible pocket awareness. That's a fact. Let's go to Screaming Chicken. Do you think Lamar Jackson is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback? Yes. I've seen him have great moments, but also times he misses wide open passes and crucial plays. Lamar's had his ups and downs already this season. But Lamar Jackson, to me, might be the most athletic quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's better than Josh Allen. I don't think he's better than Patrick Mahomes. But you're in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Two quarterbacks right now that I would say if NFL GMs were polled right now and you could start an NFL team around any quarterback in the NFL, I would say Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert are in every single NFL GM's top 4 because of their talent and because of their arm strength, because of their age. Josh Allen's the only one I would put up in there. Lamar Jackson's also in that conversation. His ability to run, his ability as a passer, and the Ravens have never put anything around him talent-wise. They haven't. You gave Lamar Jackson the amount of talent that this Raiders team has, they're 5-2 at the absolute worst right now. Let's go to nickel and dime. Should the Raiders draft Will Levis from Kentucky? I'm going to say no. And the only reason why I say that is because I don't view Will Levis as being ready right now. I don't see Will Levis as being a quarterback that I would want my team to sit behind and say, that's our guy. Now, if you were to keep Derek Carr on a cheaper contract, have Will Levis learn behind DC, that might be a different story. The only QBs that I see right now worth drafting in the first round, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, they're definitely gone within the top 5. Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, he's a hell of a player, but he's 26 years old. Will Levis has all the arm talent. But can you really trust somebody that puts mayo in his coffee and eats bananas with their peels on? I don't know. Who do you want the Raiders to draft as a quarterback in 2023? Or, excuse me, do you want the Raiders to draft a quarterback in 2023? That's the question. Why for yes and for no? If they keep on struggling the way that they are, if you're in the top 5, my answer to that is yes. If you can figure out a way to get Stroud or Bryce Young, I say you do it. If you can't figure out a way to get a guy like that, you got to hope that QBs fall. I mean, the fact that Malik Willis went in the 3rd round, if I can find a Malik Willis in the 3rd round, yes, please. Let's go to Josh Flores. Pickle Rick, what up? With no Raider trades, do you think we will pick up a free agent? I hope. I mean, the Raiders have to, if you want to convince your fan base to pay the ticket prices that you are, if you want to convince your fan base to still show out to Allegiant Stadium, you got to do something. You got to do something. Let's go to Evan JD. Is Magic Johnson going to buy the team? Buy the team? No. Buy stock in the team or buy, I don't know, stake in the team? I believe so. I believe Magic Johnson will be a part-time owner of the Raiders. Let's go to Mikey. Do you think Waller plays this week? Hope so. I sure hope so. I personally am expecting him to play, though I expected him to play last week. Waller was a player that I was worried I was going to get traded because, to me, he doesn't look nearly as motivated as what he has. Body language on and off the field, very, very telling. Doesn't look good for Waller. Here's my question to you, though. Will Darren Waller play in Week 9 versus the Jags? If you think he's going to play, type play. If you think he's going to be out, I want you to type out. Let's go to Steven. Wait 1 year for Caleb Williams. I know y'all like Caleb Williams. I like Caleb Williams, too. Are you willing to wait, though? If you're McDaniels, okay? If you're McDaniels, hear me out. Are you willing to wait? Because if you can't win this season with a playoff caliber team, and you don't win next season, that means you have 1 year. Then you're going to put all your chips in your basket on a rookie quarterback? That's a risky move. It's a risky, risky move. Super thanks coming in here from Jose Delgado. Thanks, Mitch. Your show is the best for Raider Nation. Please send me an address to send to Chugs to get you a gift of appreciation. I email you at Chat Sports. I don't have the email at Chat Sports. So how about this, Jose? I want you to message Jeremy on Twitter at Jeremy Chugs, and we'll get you the address. That's the easiest way to do it. I don't know what email you sent it to because you didn't send it to my email. I check my email every day. I didn't get anything. So at Jeremy Chugs, give him a follow on Twitter, and we'll message you, and that way we can get linked up. Let's go to Tyler. Dude, Staley sucks. He's so dumb. He would go with the 4th and 70 at his own 1. Tyler, I appreciate your super chat. Does anyone know what he's talking about? Who's Staley? Brandon Staley of the Chargers over McDaniels. I mean, right now I would at least consider it. Like, McDaniels to me right now is a bottom 5 NFL head coach. He has to be. If it wasn't for Mark Davis, he would be the betting odd favorite to get the can. NFL teams, executives, Raiders, NFL people thought the Raiders were going to be a playoff team, and they've been this bad. Let's go to Blacktimus Prime. Do you think we can swing a trade for Shaq Thompson for the Cardinals? So, again, this is a super thanks. These are that are sent in. They're not super chats. These are people who can't join the show live. Unfortunately, the answer to this is no since the NFL trade deadline is over. But Blacktimus Prime, I appreciate you. Craig Baldwin, another one. DC holds the ball too long. I try not to knock him, but he just isn't mobile enough when a play is breaking down. He tries to force it. Or panics and gets happy feet and falls down. Craig, I agree. The greatness of the Raiders. I like fifth-year senior Dorian Thompson-Robinson, quarterback for UCLA. Ah, man. You know, I've watched film on him. He's a good college quarterback. I just don't see how he's going to materialize in the NFL. There are certain players that when you watch them, I don't get it. I'm trying to think of the old quarterback from Houston who was just unbelievable athlete. His name is escape. No, that's not him. I'm trying to think of the quarterback I'm thinking of. There are certain. Yes. Say it again. De'Ara King. You watched him in college for like 1 year. You're like, this kid is special. He just doesn't have the arm talent. He's not a good enough passer, in my personal opinion, to be able to take that next step. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that, though. Now, if you guys want to be able to interact with me, please, you can. Twitter, Instagram, at Mitchell Renz 365. We do a lot of giveaways as well, and usually the way that we do those giveaways is through Venmo. We do 50-50 raffles. If you all just want to show your love and support for the show, hey, Venmo is always appreciated. We do have a free show for a reason, and all the money that you guys send in does go back to y'all to the Raiders Report. So, shout out to the nation. Please, don't be afraid. Interact with me on social media.